Hey everybody. So it is day 15, and I wanted to kind of change topics a little bit. I'm so glad that first off, that I got on the regimen of supplements and nutrients that I'm on, because I really do think that it is helping my overall balance of hormones and emotions and all of that. But today has been a challenging day, um, for sure. I've made a couple of decisions today that, although they are the absolute right decisions, definitely took some courage and took some strength in making. And I've also had a couple of situations today that were beyond my control that also had some impact. And on top of that, today is also my very dear friend's 21st death day anniversary. So there's a lot that's coming at me today for sure. Um, but um, what I wanted to talk about is, as I do personal development and as I talk to more and more people, um, what I see is this continual pattern of suffering, and it seems to stem from the fact that people believe that there are no other options out. They believe that there are no other ways and there are no other possibilities, and in turn trap themselves into this life of feeling helpless and feeling hopeless. And that is just not the case. Um, from somebody who's suffered tons of medical issues, tons of emotional issues, as far as anxiety and depression, and living a very uncourageous life, since I've started applying some of these strategies and just starting to look at my belief system and changing that belief system around, has made all of the difference. I can think of, if this was 3 years ago, I can think of how this day probably would have destroyed me for several more days. And don't get me wrong, I mean, life happens and there are challenges and you will have to face them, but we all do have a choice to face those with grace. And it's days like this that just really, confirm and ignite that purpose, that, my purpose and my passion is to help people out of their pain. I hate seeing people suffer. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to see anybody else suffer. And I certainly don't want anybody to think that there is no other way, that there is no hope. And anybody that feels that way needs to call me, because that is just not true. There are other ways. There are other things you can do. There are other practices you can implement in your life. There are other choices you can make. There's always a change in perspective that you can have that will change your life. And, I'm committed to diving in and studying and applying and walking the talk to the best of my life, so that I can live a fulfilled, happy, purposeful life, and hopefully have that same impact on everybody else that I come into contact with, and everybody else that I have the pleasure of meeting. And I hope that my impact leaves something that helps them in their life, that betters their life in some way. you know um, and I know a lot of people say that, yeah, it's easier said than done, and on the bad days it's easy to fall apart. And life can definitely throw you some days that are going to be uncomfortable, they're going to be painful, and you have to look that pain straight in the eye, and you have to grow from there. It makes all of the difference. And when you recognize and become aware of where you are, and you can face that pain, you can also let go of it. So you don't have to keep reliving that story, you don't have to keep reliving that pain. It is something that can shift, that can transform into something else. it's just most of us are afraid to even face that. We don't like the feel of pain. So we try to do everything we can instantly to get out of it, which in turns usually just causes more pain down the road. So, I'll be the first one to admit, some days are rough, and today has been a rough one. But it doesn't stay like this forever, and you just you have to go through it, and you have to just keep telling yourself that everything is going to be okay, and you focus on something that makes you happy or someone that makes you happy, and smile and find that light, because that light is always there if you look for it. And that will help you through any day. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you. It's gonna be there are gonna be some days, and again, I'm so super excited that at least I feel like my body has gotten the right nutrients and the right balance. So I'm definitely more prepared to handle days like this, when they are at their hardest. And, you just got to smile and breathe, and give your body the best support you possibly can. And, it gets better. Nothing lasts forever, and nothing, stays the same. This too shall pass. So anybody out there that's feeling, stuck or hopeless or helpless, or dealing with some medical issues that they can't get over, or dealing with some life issues that they can't get over, I'm here. I'm putting my face behind the camera. I'm pushing myself past what I consider uncomfortable. I hope showing you my vulnerability, gives you some hope, and inspires you to know that there are other people out there, that are having bad days too, that are getting through it, and there are ways. So don't give up. And like I said, if there's anybody out there that's feeling the same way, or you're struggling, I'd be more than happy to share what I know, and what's been working for me. It is definitely my life's passion to get people, to help get people out of their pain, to help them find other ways in their life that they can walk towards their purpose and their passion, and really, live an inspiring life that they choose. So, there's good things in everything, so you got to look for the gift. But I just wanted to share that with you, and I'll be back for day 16 tomorrow. Thank you.